morning, everybody. It's Chris here from Serene Education with the 4 Majors Analysis Update for the 18th of April 2013. Hi, folks. Today, I'm going to do the analysis using the FX8 templates on our MT4 platform. Let's have a look at the Euro against US dollar daily. Okay, so straight away, I want to look at my box, my indicator box over here. And what am I seeing? A mixed signal, to be honest with you. It looks like a 6 over here and 6 in the red colors. Very indecisive, to be honest with you. We'd like to see, I mean, we've got monthly longs, the weekly is indecisive, and our dailies are all positive. The only thing on here is our daily and our 5 minutes. However, upside for the daily and the weekly, a lot of it negative, purely because we can see we've been falling recently, and the emphasis you've got to be making here is you want to see if the longer terms, i.e. monthly, weekly, daily, are all positive, then you want to see the sentiment intraday, also if you're looking for trades intraday, to mirror the long-term trend. It's the same if it was going short. You want to see monthly, weekly, daily all negative, and you want to see your intraday, primarily your intraday ones, also going to the downside. Here, a mixed bag. Straight away, I mean, the daily, we have a blue arrow and the candles are blue, and the one thing to see straight away is the moving averages are all below price, supporting us. So we have had a pullback though, nonetheless. Yesterday's candle, in fact, let me just move this back so you can see it, a bearish engulfing. So we had a nice bullish candle the prior day, but yesterday taking all the back, so what we're left with is a tweezer top. Now a tweezer top after an uptrend or up move is not one of really great sentiment. However, the only saving grace for this particular pair is the fact that we're still trading above all the moving average, including that all-important institution moving average. My RMO in the bottom here is just barely above the zero, so just barely positive. However, as long as it maintains above the institution moving average, then we should be looking at that as our last support level. And what we need now, if this is to be a genuine tweezer top, is to see a bearish engulfing candle to confirm that sentiment. If we don't get a bearish engulfing top here, then all we're going to see is consolidation yet again. And as long as it maintains above the institution moving average, then ultimately what's going to happen is price is going to move higher, because we have our blue arrow, blue candles. Our RMO is just above the zero line, not looking good because the last candle formation is lower than the prior one, so the sentiment's not really there. And you can see our MACD, we are now on a pullback. The actual moving averages have crossed over, and we are seeing a pullback, but nonetheless still above the zero line. So as long as the intraday trade stays above this intraday consolidation range here at this level, then we should be looking for top side. You can see a 5 minutes all looking positive. The 15-minute we'd like to see all in our favor to see that buying sentiment come through. Our 30-minute, everything's looking good. It's just that the institution moving average is still above price, so that's resisting her at the moment. We'd like to see that positiveness coming through on our small terms, time frames. The R squared needs to remain positive, guys. We've got 50 minutes. There's no sentiment move in this case is selling, so that could be telling us we should be looking for potential for buying sentiment come through. We've got negative sentiments here on the R squared on our 4 hour. There's a lot of negativity here again. I think it's telling us that we should be looking for potentially just a pullback in a very positive uptrend at the moment now. So be patient. If this is to remain negative intraday, we do need to see that close lower. So if we go to our 4 hour, there we go. You can see where the institution moving average is at the moment now below price. So even though our two shorter term moving averages are crossed and going sideways, you can see that consolidation. It's still happening above a major support and resistance level, and that's in the shape of the 1300. We know 1300 is a very important level because we've seen so much consolidation in this area in the past, and as well as our institution moving average is below that. One thing to see in upside movement, you want to see swing highs. Okay, so we're swinging high, swinging high, swinging high, swinging high, swinging higher, swinging sideways, and still swinging sideways. So we're not making higher highs, but we're not making any lower lows, and that's primarily because we've got this major support and resistance level below us. It's imperative if we are in an uptrend, we need to continue to see swing highs. If we fail to do so, then we are likely to be in either consolidation for one, or we're looking at a negative change in market sentiment in this case, and we're looking for bearishness. That, however, is not going to be the port of call until such time as we get a physical close below the 1300. The longer it trades sideways, the more likely it's going to find support and it's going to move higher. Okay. Sterling, let's look at this pair for the daily. What do we have here? As I mentioned to you, we want to see the all red, and then you can see over here quite clearly majority, our monthly is low, weekly is looking negative, and our daily is looking negative. There's one or two, so the negativity is, so we've got linear regression, so we don't have any true direction, and we have the sentiment which is negative on our daily, but our linear regression is on the wrong side and our RSI is on the wrong side. So there's no true sentiment, and you can clearly see that price hasn't made any higher highs on the daily. In fact, it's actually made a lower. The last couple of days has seen price dropping lower, which is not a good signal. However, you can see clearly swing high, and price is now likely to be moving back up to that. So as it stands at the moment now, you can see my RMO at the bottom here. If it's below the zero line, it's plotting negativity, and if it gets above the zero line, it's plotting positives. But you can see quite clearly just recently that has not been the case. Let me just make this nice and small so it actually fits here nicely on the chart. There we go. You can see the RMO is still below the zero line. So negativity coming into it. This candle yesterday engulfing all of this sentiment, or this consolidative sentiment that we saw just recently at this level. You can see resistance, breakout, pullback. Now it's breaking lower. So ultimately what it's doing here is it's trading below a prior major support and resistance level in the shape of the 15300. I know that because price has used this level as a major support and resistance level over a number of years, so that's got to constitute something. So now it's trading below the 15300, which is one of negativity, and you can see our MACD has gone past that. However, intraday, all our smaller time frames are showing consolidation. So we're in a negative trend, but it's consolidating. It's moving against market sentiment. Okay, if price is moving lower, swinging lower, that means price is making lower lows. In this case, price has broken this downtrend that we've seen since January of this year, and now consolidating. It's moving sideways, not much momentum behind the move. It's testing a major support and resistance level in the shape of the 15300. It's not getting away from it. However, yesterday's candle taking away, after all that negativity we saw yesterday on the market, we've seen the sterling dropping against the US dollar and dropping below that 15300. So intraday, as long as she maintains below 15300, so let's look at that 4-hour time frame. There we go, the 15300 is above price. So as I mentioned, you can see price has been pulling back, and that's exactly what price has been doing. So daily's been falling. However, intraday, you can see the consolidation here, and hence the reason why our 5, 15, 30 and hourly is all looking positive, because we've seen consolidation on those intraday time frames. Okay, we are still seeing a lower swing. Lower swing is higher than, it's lower than that one over there. So we're seeing that negativity still playing through. The institutional would be our target. The longer price stays below 15300, the likely target for our intraday would be the institutional moving average down here, which is our right down here, roughly around the 15162 mark. So intraday, you've got to see that consolidation. The consolidation is going to happen now at the underside of this level here. You can quickly see if I bring this line down. Oops, if I can just grab it and pull it back. You can see the majority of the consolidation, resistance, support. So in this area now where we are trading, which is below that major 15300 mark, is consolidation. Okay, so in the next hour or so, we want to see all our candles starting to go red. Okay, that's the most important thing. You've got to be patient, because if this is a breakout at the underside of a major support and resistance level, we want to see that negative sentiment coming through now, and that's got to reflect on our intraday charts, i.e. our smaller time frames. That selling sentiment's got to come from our 5, 15, 30 hourly, etc. to the downside. We've got to wait for that to happen. Once it gets going, then our target would be these lows down here where prices come from in the past. If I'm looking for intraday targets, I can always take the lowest low that we had last in March to the current high intraday, to this level that we've just recently seen. So I can take a fib ratio from that, some of the lowest low to the current high on my intraday chart. So you can see the 23.6 was that major support and resistance level. We're trading under it now. So straight psychologically intraday telling me look for shorts, and look to shorts towards the 38.2 level. So that is just here, just shy of the 1520. So in terms of how much profit is likely to be seen between with this major support and resistance level here to this level, you're looking at 74 pips. There's more than enough target in there intraday to that level to be seen. So, but we want to see all our smaller time frames going that way, and we need to see a bearish engulfing candle here, ideally on our, in my case, my hourly and stuff like that. So we want to see price giving a nice bearish engulfing candle here, a shooting star, an exhaustion candle at the underside of this level. Okay, so we want to start seeing all these layers over here going red. Onto the US dollar Swiss franc. Let's have a look at this particular pair. A lot of negativity on our bigger time frames and a lot of positiveness intraday. So here again, mixed signals. We are on a negative trend. However, intraday consolidation. Okay, so we're looking at negativity through the month, negativity through the week, a lot of negativity through the day. However, on our 4 hour, we're getting mixed signals, and our hourly, we're getting a lot of mixed signals. And you can see there's a lot more buying sentiment intraday. However, that buying sentiment is not really moving with genuine momentum because my R squared is red. That needs to be positive. It's true buying sentiment, and that needs to be positive. So that tells me I'm looking at consolidation. Okay, it's just clear consolidation profit. And you can see that on my small time frames, my RMO is still below the zero line just. MACD is very much below the zero line. However, we are seeing pullbacks, and that's genuine. You can see that nice. Yesterday, we saw a bearish engulf. This is a potential tweezer bottom. Okay, we saw the tweezer top on the euro against US dollar. We're seeing, which looks like a tweezer bottom on the US dollar Swiss franc. However, we won't be just trading long on that particular time frame until we actually get a genuine positive candle to the upside, and doing so it'll get above us, above the institution moving average. That's the most important thing, because on the daily we're trading below it, which is one of negativity. So as it stands now, what we can do is to take the current low that we have just recently on our daily, take it to the current high we've just seen, and look and see what price is doing on our Fib retracement. You can quite clearly see we got the 23.6 that we traded below 38, the 50, and we hit it all the way into the 61.8. However, failing to actually move lower than that after breaking lower, it's now pulled back and trading above the 50. So ideally, to see any positiveness, we want to see that bull, because if this is a tweezer bottom, we want to see a positive candle daily close above the 38.2. Get above the 38.2 is not only getting above the institution moving average, but it's also getting above our shorter term moving average, which is also a clear sign of positive near term sentiment to the upside. And eventually we could start seeing our daily starting to change color. At the moment now, our daily is the one looking all negative at the moment, because our R squared is telling us genuine negative sentiment. If price fails to close above the institution, then this looks like it's likely to continue to be negative near term, because of the fact that we're still trading below that institution. So as it stands at the moment now, it'll be quite wary to see any further upside movement until such time as price is trading above the 38.2. Very, very important. So this one over here, I'm going to give back to the market, because there's clearly no clear direction at the moment now. It is negative, one of negativity. We're seeing that. However, we're seeing a lot of blue here. We need this to start turning red, and then to clearly tell us we should be looking low. So intraday, I'm going to take a horizontal line at my institution moving average. You can quite clearly see there's a lot of resistance here. Price has failed to get above this level over a number of days. So on my 4 hour, I want to see that. So you can clearly see here 4 hour resistance, 4 hour resistance last week, 4 hour resistance midweek, 4 hour resistance at the start of last week. So a lot of resistance here above price recently. Okay, so it's imperative this is to be positive. We do need to see this area have been broken on our 4 hour hourly chart. You can still see on our 4 hour that the RMO is looking negative. Yes, we've had a pullback. That's guaranteed to see. However, be aware that we are pulling back into a major support and resistance level in the shape of the 4 hour time frame here. So we are seeing a lot of consolidation in this area. If this is to be a genuine pullback and we like to see a change in market sentiment, we would need to see a close above this area. So we're still trading into, if you're looking for buying opportunities, you'll be buying with a lot of risk on the table, because of the fact that we're trading into a major resistance level. Rather wait for price to break above that, and then if this all remains all positive the intraday, then these will change suit as time progresses. So we're seeing positive pullback, hence the reason why our smaller time frames are all positive. However, some of that sentiment on our intraday is looking, it's not true sentiment, because our R squared, especially on our small time frames, is not in the direction of the, it's not telling us it's true buying sentiment. So we here on the 15, for example, we're seeing a lot of buying, okay, across the thing. So on a 50-minute chart, you're looking for buying opportunities, but that sentiment isn't really moving. That the actual price is not moving with a lot of sentiment in it. Hence the reason why the R squared is negative. Okay, so we're starting to see that straight away as we head into the resistance level, that sentiment intraday is not genuine one of buying, and hence the reason why we're getting mixed signals intraday. So be aware of that, guys. Be aware of that. Last pair of the day is US dollar Japanese yen. You can see this is a lot better. You can quite clearly see that we've had a lot of upside. The monthly, the weekly, the daily, the 4 hour, all looking positive, and it's primarily because price has been in a very, very strong uptrend. Look at that on a daily. Since last year, September, we've seen price making higher highs. However, near term, you can quite clearly see the price has come on stuck here at 94, if I'm not mistaken. 94 being a very important one because that is our 38.2 Fib retracement from our monthly and weekly highs that we saw from 2007. I think it's a 2007 highs to our 2011 lows. On a monthly, we did a Fib retracement figure, and this area here at 94 was one of concern because of the fact that that was clearly a Fib retracement in the shape of the 38.2 level. Below that was 87. That was the 23.6 level. I'm just going to put these in for you so you can see them. Very, very important. You can see that we're trading below. Nice consolidation, breakout, pullback, continuation since 23 up towards that 38.2. Price failed. However, still looking positive. Long-term break, pullback, and then the continuation lower, higher. And then moving into a major support and resistance level high here at the 50%, which was our 100. So now it reached the 100, and since reason why we've seen a major pullback just recently on our daily, primarily because we've played into that resistance now, the 50% retracement there, and prices pulled back. Yes, 2 candles away, we've seen a little almost like a tweezer bottom, not a tweezer bottom, almost like a fake out, and prices moved higher, primarily because it actually moved to the previous breakout high. Oops, if I could just draw a proper line here, would be fantastic. There we go. So this is the breakout, the pullback. So when we saw the breakout, the pullback is going to use this prior resistance as a new support, and price is building on it. So we want to see all this intraday starting to turn blue if this is a genuine support intraday. Okay, so if I move to my 4-hour time frames, you can see quite clearly we had this hammer formation here on the 4-hour at the institution, which is a positive signal. RMO is above the 0. MACD is just above the 0 line here. So you can see the blue arrow, blue candles. We've got to get above this consolidation intraday though on our 4-hour. You can see a lot of consolidation. Price not making any higher highs. Those intraday highs, quite clearly we need to get a nice close above that. And if we get our 30 minutes all going blue, you can see the R squared still not with us at the moment now. So a lot of mixed signals intraday. You would need to see that close. This will all start going blue to confirm that we should be looking for buying sentiment, and then we can target the prior highs we just come from, which is our 100. So there's a lot of target here intraday if and when we get a break and close above this current high. There is at least 147 pips to the upside if we get a close above this area going forward. So that, guys, is the 4 majors on the FX8 template. I hope it made sense, guys. If you guys are still interested, please drop an email to customer services at Serene Education. Sorry, guys, not enough caffeine this morning. Yeah, so if you are interested, please drop an email to customer services at sereneeducation.com. info@sereneeducation.com is also another one you could use. But if you are interested, we can get you a copy of this template sent to you. It's very, very cheap. Have a look, ask questions. Other than that, please back this up with sound money management rules. Very, very important. And most importantly, keep it simple, guys. Keep it very, very simple. Look at long-term directional trends. See what price is doing in conjunction to that. And you will get a better outlook of what price is likely to do. And you can actually back it up with really decent profits. So very, very important. Keep it simple. Back it up with sound money management and follow the rules of the template. Other than that, have a fantastic trading day. And I'll see you first thing tomorrow morning. Until then, you guys trade serene.